Greetings again, gang. Uh, we're in the middle of hurricane season, right? Okay. We all know this. What could happen? You get a flooding, your house could get washed away. More likely, what's going to happen is power outages. Power outages don't only come from hurricanes, guys. We all know this, all right? We've all experienced power outages. Some of them are short, a couple of minutes, maybe an hour, maybe half the day, whatever. But we never know how long they are going to be. All of us have experienced those, and the same questions run through everybody's mind. How long is this going to last, and what am I going to do? Do you have a plan? Do you have something said? Do you know the steps that should be taken when the power goes out? Because who knows what the reason is, and who knows how long it's going to be? The questions, right? You go back, let's take a look at Hurricane Maria in 2017, okay, down in Puerto Rico. People down there, some of them went over a year without power. Most of the island was without power for 100+ days. That's 3 months, guys. Okay. What are your plans for if you're without power for a long time? Okay. Well, Puerto Rico's infrastructure wasn't that good or anything like that, so that was the problem, right? Because the U.S. grid is so stable. We know that. You look at Hurricane Sandy back in 2012. I mean, that hit Florida, Maine, Michigan, Wisconsin, New Jersey, New York. I mean, there were people during that were without power for 2 weeks. Let's just think about being without power for 2 weeks, okay? What about the derecho blackout in 2012? That hit Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Jersey, okay? There were some people there that were without power for a week, 10 days, okay? Yeah. Do you have a plan? Do you know what to do when the power goes out, all right? What steps you should take? This is one of those, get out a pencil and paper, write these steps down because I'm going to give them to you in order what you should be doing, okay, when the power goes out. Because you don't know if it's going to be 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 days, or 10 weeks, okay? Last thing you want to do is figure it's going to be a 10-minute power outage and it turns into 10 weeks. Because remember this, the power's out for you. The power's out for everybody else, and it's not going to take long till people start freaking out, all right? So I'm going to give you the 10 steps that you need to take in order when the power goes out. Number 1, first off, locate all your immediate household members, okay, and your pets. Get everybody home. If your spouse is at work, if the kids are at school, whatever, make contact with them. Husband's at work, whatever it is. Honey, the power just went out. It's out all over the neighborhood, whatever. You might want to come home. While you're at it, pick the kids up from school, okay? Because again, you don't know what happened. Number 2, you're still at home. Get out your grid down supply box. You should have one of these. Everything should be in one crate, like a crate that you keep your Christmas tree ornaments in or something like this. This should have everything you need in case the power goes out. Almost, let's put it this way, okay? You're not going to fit big solar generators or a generator in that box, okay? But in that box should include flashlights, batteries, lanterns, candles, extension cords, lighters, matches, everything you need when the power goes out to get yourself some light, because that is going to be crucial. In that same area right there should be all your power sources, okay? Whether it's solar generators, whether it is a gas generator. You don't know what time the power goes out. Power goes out at 11 o'clock in the morning. Hey, it's daylight. No big deal. Power goes out at 11 o'clock at night. Okay. Hopefully, somehow you figured this out. You're not all asleep. You don't wake up 6 hours, 7 hours later and go, crap. crap, the power's out and everybody's got a 7-hour head start on you. Okay. Finding stuff in the dark is not easy. We've all tried doing that. Remember, when the power goes out, it's pitch black at night. You don't want to be hunting stuff in the dark or trying to find a flashlight. Now, the rest of these, if you're by yourself, do them in this order. If there are multiple people with you, then obviously you can do multiple things at the same time. Okay. Number 3, step 3. Set up some sort of light in the common area where you plan on being for the long term. Okay. Plug in that solar generator you have into the lamp in the living room. Take another lamp into the kitchen. Get some light into the areas that you plan on being in. Set up a little pop-up lantern or an oil lamp or something like that in the bathroom so you can find your way there. Okay. Walking around the house at night with the flashlight sucks. And if you're a guy, peeing with the flashlight in your one hand and the business end in the other hand ain't convenient. Okay. Things are much easier to do when it's light, and you don't want to be trying to walk around like Rip Van Winkle with a candle all over your house. Number 4, this is an important step that I find that most people forget to do. Unplug anything that you're not using, whether it be a coffee pot, a microwave, a toaster, a hair dryer. Yeah, there's a lot of people that will leave their hair dryer plugged in the bathroom all the time. Okay. At this point, you still don't know what caused the power outage. And if you have a surge of power come back through the line, first off, you don't want to lose all those appliances, because a power surge comes through and fries your microwave or fries your toaster or whatever it would be, fries your refrigerator. And even when the power comes back on, now those things don't work. But secondly, if a power surge comes on, you don't want one of those things catching fire, and now you're trying to deal with a fire in your house. Not exactly the exact idea of how you want to stay warm is that your toaster just caught on fire. Okay. Number 5, once the lights are on, okay, to whatever capacity you have, of course, get your power to your refrigerators and your freezers. If this means firing up a gas generator, grabbing one of those electrical cords, extension cords that was in your supply box, or a solar generator and plugging your fridge or your freezer into it, get those things plugged in, okay? Secondary source of power. It's not hooked up to the grid, and that way you can save your food. Your food isn't going to spoil immediately, but the second that power went out, the clock started ticking, and you don't know how long this is going to last. Also, by doing this, it might give you a tip as to what happened. Okay, if all of a sudden your generators don't work, your solar generators work, we might have just experienced an EMP. Okay, unless of course something was in a Faraday cage. If those work, whatever it would be. Right, but it might give you a tip as to what happened. Number 6, collect as much water as you can. Right? There's still water in your pipes. Chances are city water's down. Chances are your well is down. However you get your water, whatever it would be. There's still water in your pipes. Get every container you possibly can and fill it with water. I don't care if it's pots and pans, buckets, milk jugs, bottles, milk glasses, beer pitchers, whatever. Collect as much water as you can. That's could be the last bit of fresh water you have that you're not going to have to treat somehow. Okay? So make sure you get as much water. Number 7, after you've done all of this, now is the time to figure out what happened. React, then get proactive. Okay? See if you can figure out what the cause is. Try calling the electric company. If the phone doesn't work, we got bigger problems. If nobody answers the phone at the electric company, we got bigger problems. If you get a recording, you don't know. If you get through to somebody and they say, oh yeah, we've already got a crew out there or whatever. Okay, cool. How long is it going to be? 2 hours. All right, so you know what the deal is. And everybody can unfreak out, but you've already got all this stuff taken care of. Okay? Because 2 hours could turn into 20. How many times have we been lied to? We'll have our delivery guy there between 8 and 12, and he shows up at 4 o'clock, right? It's happened to every one of us. Just because they tell you 2 hours, don't sit there and watch. You said it was going to take 2 hours, and it's been 2 hours and 3 minutes. Okay. Remember, when you're calling those people, their objective is not to give you answers, it's to get you off the phone. Okay. Number 8, now's the time you go check on other people, your neighbors, your mag, your family that may live down the street, and see what's going on with them. Do they have provisions? Okay. I mean, do they have flashlights? Do they have candles? How many people do we know that aren't preppers? How many family members do we know that don't have anything? Don't even have a flashlight in their house, or don't know where it is, or don't have batteries in it, right? Okay. Maybe you need to provide them some supplies. Let's say it was a weather event. It's a blizzard and the power went out. You're prepped. You have something to heat, okay? Maybe you want to bring tell your kids or your aunt or whatever, come over to my house. We've got something we can stay warm. Or it's the middle of July, okay, and it's 90 degrees outside with 100% humidity. You guys know how fast your house will get hot without AC, okay? But you've got something, whether it's fans or an air conditioner or something that's got some backup power to it. People can die real fast in both heat and cold. So, those that are important to you, or your the next door neighbor who's 70 years old in a wheelchair on oxygen or whatever it is, maybe you invite them over to the house and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, why don't you come over here? We can keep you a little more comfortable. Again, the human spirit and our generosity, as much as preppers are very much, I'm going to be on my own, we're still human beings, and most of us still have a little human compassion. Okay. Number 9, once you've got all that, now is the time to start a fire. I know you're about pinball, it's July. Okay. Power's going to be out for 3 days. How do you plan on cooking? Oh, I've got my little Coleman stove. Okay, there's a plan. I've got my barbecue grill. Okay, there's a plan. Okay, going to do it over a campfire. Going to do it in a wood stove. Going to do it in a burn barrel. Going to do it in a fireplace. Start the fire now, because it's going to take a while to get those coals, those embers, to be able to cook on. And, you don't want to go, okay, it's dinner time. This is not going to be the time to go. We turn on the stove and I melt some butter and make up some hash browns or whatever it would be. It's like, oh, okay, I got to go start the fire. In an hour, if I'm lucky, I'll have the embers that I can go throw a cast iron skillet over and I can cook those hash browns. Start the fire now, so when it's time to cook, the fire's ready for you, okay? In this step, also make sure that you have collected, found, organized all your off-grid cooking supplies. Where are your cast iron pans? Where are your metal spatulas? Don't try using a plastic spatula out over an open fire or something. The one that you use in the kitchen may not going to be the one that you're going to use in a grid down situation. This is when you want to, where are all my barbecue tools? Okay? Make sure you've got all that handy. Number 10. By this point, hopefully any family has come over, maybe your neighbors are over, whatever. This is a time to set up a perimeter security. I know this sounds like the power went out. What the hell do I need perimeter security for? Well, by now, after everything you've done there, that's probably taken you a couple hours. If the power's still out, people are starting to freak just a little bit, going, okay, what the hell's going to happen? It's not going to take too long till somebody notices there's lights on in your house, or there's a fire going over there, or gee, I smell hamburgers cooking. It's not going to take long till people start looking at your house and going, there's heat over there, there's lights over there, there's somewhere maybe I can charge my phone over there, and they're going to come by. Do you know that person? Maybe you let them in and they're part to help, okay? In situations like this, yes, You may wind up helping people you know. If they're people you don't know, you might want to keep them out because they may go, I smell food. I see electricity. There's heat. There's air conditioning there, whatever it would be. Maybe I want that. It's time to set up security and make sure only the people that are getting in are the ones you want there. Have you thought about all those things? That might be worth writing down, putting on the fridge, showing the spouse, showing the kids, and go, this is the plan the next time the power goes out. Because if a hurricane hits, if we're under a tornado warning, do you know what to do? If the Chinese go, you know what? Today's the day. Beep. Pinball out.